went to the hospital for rotator cuff surgery, my right shoulder, and let's see, I was just in a day or two. I wasn't in it overnight, as a matter of fact. Came out, and 2 or 3 days later, I developed I was dizzy, disoriented, and I went to the hospital at one point because I felt so bad, and they diagnosed it as a large bleeding stomach ulcer. I was bleeding internally, and took many tests. I had blood transfusions. I was there a week, and then came out, and it was found out the result of the cause was a misprescribed drug, a drug that caused internal bleeding. That plus my Coumadin, which I take for a condition of atrial fibrillation, caused increased bleeding and the bringing on the large stomach ulcer, for which I've been treated ever since, and I'm improving. I'm in good health now, except I'm still going through physical therapy, which Medicare pays for, and I need so badly, and I have a few more sessions of that, and it's improved my strength and movement of my arm and my shoulder incredibly. It's worked out so well. I don't recall the exact numbers. I just know there were many thousands of dollars involved with the surgery and the stay in the hospital. Every procedure is done is so costly. It's got to be 30 plus, I would guess, 30,000. The combined surgery and the hospital stay, and then the continuing physical therapy that all costs. Mm-hmm. But Medicare has, covered everything. I've had nothing out of pocket. Everything. Well, Medicare plus my supplemental, right. Which covers everything, and I'm very fortunate. Well, anything that would affect the care of myself and my wife would of course come out of my pocket, which is a limited income, and it would be terrible. Would not like to see that happen. The wheelchair incident relates to, it's probably 2 years now. A firm I used to go to, I'm an amputee. I have a below the knee amputation, my left leg. And I went to a prosthetic firm, and I casually said that I really should have a wheelchair in the case I can't put my leg on, and I may be in need of it. So one of the people there said, well, we can get you a wheelchair right here through our company. I said, oh, really? And then next thing I know, they had this, I guess he was a salesman for this wheelchair company, and he shows me many pages of brochures, of a brochure and the particulars for a wheelchair. Well, of course, I'd look for wheelchairs online, and I saw prices of maybe $500 to $1,000 for a good wheelchair. And he wanted all the specifications, measured me to fit the chair and everything. And what color do I want? I mean, everything was customized that I had never seen before with wheelchairs. And I said, well, what is this going to cost about? And I understood him to say somewhere around $3,000, which knocked my socks off at the time because I had been looking for them online. And this is just a simple, lightweight wheelchair. And, well, I received it, and it was a marvelous device. I've used it, thank God, minimally. But I got my Medicare bills, and as I recall, this is a while ago, and I'm not exactly sure of the figures, but it was somewhere around $4,000, $4,200, somewhere around there. A good deal more than he had quoted, which was high to begin with. And of course, Medicare accepted it, and I didn't submit any kind of fraudulent papers or inference about it, and I perhaps should have. But it's just an example of how Medicare, which, as we know, is fleeced, for want of a better word, defrauded in great numbers. And this is a big part of the expense that should not be there. And that was my instance of knowing. All my bills, the bills going back to my surgery of my leg and the prosthetic costs over the years. My leg is simple, and then it doesn't have a knee. It doesn't have a mechanical knee, and it runs $15,000 to $20,000, and I've had many prostheses over the years. But Medicare has picked this up, and there again, I've looked at the bills as they were submitted to Medicare, getting copies, of course, and from a layman's perspective, they're terribly hard to understand, all these various components. And I wondered if the Medicare representatives or those who scan or look at the bills can see whether this is a valid cost. But it's expensive, and Medicare has paid over the years. I've had very little out-of-pocket expenses. Even my hospital stay was $50 a year or something. It was a phone bill or something. But otherwise, I've been very fortunate. Well, Social Security is a monthly support, financial support that comes in, and directly into my checking account. It is so convenient, and it's a supplemental part of my income that is absolutely necessary. I have considerable expenses. My wife has advanced Alzheimer's, and she needs care. She goes to a day center, and the time she's at home, I have a woman caring for her. Weekends, nights, mornings. I can't do it anymore. I used to do it. I used to care for her, but it requires strength and stooping and flexibility and knowledge of care. When someone's incontinent, you have to be very familiar with their bodily functions, their eating, all their habits, and I just couldn't do it. So she's an invaluable help in our lives, which costs a considerable amount, including the cost to the daycare center where she goes. So combined, it approaches $4,000 a month, and that's out of pocket. So that's my big monthly nut, so to speak. Well, the Medicare benefit is so comprehensive. The drugs, as a matter of fact, our prescriptions are reduced considerably now. The donut hole, so to speak, which I've experienced in the past, has been filled, and I can get 2 or 3 prescriptions now and come out with less than $50. It's so gratifying.